Hello, everybody, and welcome to Big Bold You, a show that is designed to help you live bigger in your life. And I say this all the time, but believe it or not, it is easier to play bigger than it is to be smaller because you get results quicker. To be bolder, which means you got to get out of your comfort zone. Every day, you got to be doing something that you're a little bit uncomfortable doing because that's the only way you grow and you stretch yourself, because we want you to become the best version of yourself. We know that we are in a war between good and evil. It has been that way for thousands of years, and it will continue to be so. And the only way evil wins is when amazing, great people like you, me, and our incredible guest, when we just don't do enough. So we want to inspire you to do more, and we're going to help you do more. Now, every week we've got a different guest. We have a different topic. Our topic this week is how to create an incredible wedding and event. And our beautiful guest that is beautiful inside and out is Shamica Sweat. Shamica, welcome so much to the show.
I'm so excited to be here.
Listen, I'm so excited for so many different reasons. Number one, because when we talk about weddings, it's such a glorious time in your life.
I agree.
There's a couple of times in my life where I said, it was just never surpassed by anything else. Number one, your wedding and your first pregnancy. I think those are two really special times in a person's life. And then I really want to talk about events, because you were the one that helped me last year with my Beauty, Brains, and Business event. And it was a completely different experience with your professional help. So this year, the event is on May 4th, which is Cinco de Mayo. So everybody save the date, May 4th. It is there in Frisco, and it's really the entrepreneur event of the year. We help people, whether they're males or females. I know some people say beauty. Well, men need to be talking about beauty, but it's not just the external beauty. It's your internal beauty. That's your energy. That's what creates your basically how people attract to you. But you sat down, I met you probably a little bit before that event. And when we sat down, you had so many incredible ideas that I didn't think of. The set that you produced and created was incredible, and it was on a shoestring budget, really, basically. I mean, you were like, hey, Jens, you don't have to go out and do XYZ because of your connections, your experience, the things that you did. It was phenomenal.
Yay.
I loved it.
I'm glad that you were excited, or you were satisfied.
Oh, it was amazing.
That makes me happy.
And this year's going to even be better.
I know, I'm excited.
Although I'm sad because we don't get you live that day.
I know. I have a luncheon that I do every year for Mother's Day. And so it's with a really good friend of mine. And she, like you, has me reserved every first Saturday in May. So.
And it's Cinco de Mayo. But listen, we're going afterwards, we'll have margaritas and we'll eat chips and dip. I mean, chips and hot sauce if somebody wants to. Now, two segments that we do consistently every show is Book of the Month. And our book of the month in January is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I'm telling you, if you have not read this book, you've got to read this book. It is incredible. And the second one is our Laughter is the Best Medicine segment. Now, every week, I want everybody to kind of know a little bit about the book if you're not reading it, because I want to inspire you to get it. It literally will change your life. Here it is again, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So 2 points today that we want to cover is, number one, the importance of clarity. In life, the more clear you are, the more you will receive exactly what it is that you want. So I don't know about you, Shamica, but how many times have you wanted to order a pizza? I mean, you like pizza?
I do.
Okay. So you order a pizza, but when you call to place that order, you know exactly what you want on that pizza.
I agree.
Exactly. Now, if you called and ordered a pizza and you didn't tell them what you wanted on the pizza and they delivered a pizza to you and it had nothing that you wanted on that pizza, whose fault is that?
It's mine.
Exactly. Well, in life, what we do is because we're not super clear with what we want, we achieve success. We have great things happen to us, but it's not exactly what we want because we're not really telling the universe and our subconscious brain exactly what we want. So in life, specifically here in 2019, gain clarity. I know Shamica's in my mastermind.
Yes.
And I love it. And one of the things we talk about is, what's the difference between a person that makes $3,000 a month versus someone who makes $30,000 a month, and the person that makes $30,000 a month besides $27,000? The difference is they're doing the right things.
Exactly.
Because they have that clarity. And I think the second big point is dreamers never quit. And when you know what it is that you are running towards because you have that passion, and that's what I'm going to love about getting into this topic with you, is your passion about what you do and your vision for really what you want and why you're doing what you're doing, you'll never quit.
No.
Even when it gets tough, and it does get tough sometimes.
It does get tough.
It does get tough.
It does.
But you don't quit
No.
because you're a dreamer. You've got that within you.
There's purpose within the passion.
There always. So tell everybody just a little bit about yourself.
So a little bit about me. I was born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri. I have a brother and a sister. I have two amazing parents, but then I also have two amazing bonus parents.
That's great.
So I am a child of divorce, but also blended families, which I think is really important. And I think it's part of why I have the passion for what I do. I'm married to an amazing husband, Henry Sweat, and then I have two littles. I was going to say 7, but he'll be 8 in 2 weeks. So I have an 8-year-old son, Mason, and a 9-year-old daughter, Morgan, who will be 10 in May.
They're precious.
Oh, gosh.
They are so precious.
They keep me on my toes.
Well, I'll never forget last year, the night, because we set up for the event the night before, and they came with you, and they were so well behaved.
They were.
They were so well behaved.
When they choose to be.
Hey, listen, we understand that. No, but you weren't doing event planning full time until about a year ago, right?
Right. So I started, I've been planning weddings for 12 years. Well, it'll be 13 years this year. For 12 and a half years, I worked as a claims adjuster for a major insurance company, and I did my business part-time. And I was able to do both, but it got to a point where the business was starting to pick up, and then it became too much to try to manage both of them. And so I had to make a decision, and it was a very hard decision because it's like, do I give up the guaranteed paycheck to go into a business that I know I can sustain, but it's scary to kind of jump out there on your own in entrepreneurship. You know?
And you love what you're doing here. And so, and that pull, and you also have flexibility as an entrepreneur to be able to work on your schedule and be able to be with your kids and do the things that you want with your kids. But it is scary because at the same time, you're like, good grief, I've got a set amount of income that's coming in on a monthly basis, and it's not going to be coming in anymore.
I agree. It's hard to let go of the paycheck, but I started as a full-time entrepreneur September 1st, 2017, and it was the best decision that I think I've ever made. And looking back, I don't think I'd ever change it.
What was the date again?
September 1st,
okay,
2017.
So you know what? September 1st, 2016 is when I launched Jen's Johnson Inspires. Wow. So we have the same
date.
Business anniversary.
I walked away August 31st, and September 1st, it was on me.
Now, what do you love so much about planning events and planning weddings?
a lot of people call me crazy. I have this weird obsession with weddings, and I have for a very long time. When I was 16, and I know this is going to sound really crazy, but when I was 16, I started planning my own wedding.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and so I know it's crazy,
but I
right?
love it. At 16, you're obsessed with it.
I was, and it wasn't necessarily like the guy, or it was the idea of the wedding and the marriage and everything that it represented. Like I told you before, I'm a product of, not a product, but I'm a child of parents that divorced, but then we had a blended family. I have an amazing stepfather, an amazing stepmother. And I just think I got this like bonus family. So it, like, family and marriage and just the sanctity of marriage was very important to me. And at 16, I was planning my own wedding. At 18, when I went to college, I had a binder full of...
No way, Shamica. Shamica.
I'm
Okay,
not joking.
so I want to know from the people that are watching right now and the people that watch this recording, I want to know how many of you did something like this. And it doesn't have to be in
Probably
event
not
planning. It doesn't have to be in event planning. It could be, you know, if somebody wanted to play drums, they had their drumsticks with them, because this is what is called a clue.
Yeah.
When you are so excited and passionate about something at a young age, where all on your own, you're doing things that's a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
And what I say is everybody is at least a quarter crazy. Now, there's some people that are 50% crazy, some people that are 75% crazy. And there's some people that are just all the way crazy to their core. But you got to be a little bit crazy to be successful, because it's scary and to go after what you want. Yeah. So you're in college.
Yeah. I'm in college.
With
I have
your
this
binder.
No boyfriend, but I got a whole wedding planned out. And I ended up meeting my husband in college, and we got married in July of 2008. And when we got married, my vision for the wedding was all the same, except for maybe a couple of things.
Okay, now here, I want to ask you, did he just go along with your entire vision?
He was just
just said, go for it.
Just tell me when to show up and I'll be there.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's real low key like that, you know, just tell me when to show up and I'll be there.
Was your wedding your very first event that you did? Or had you done some? Okay,
I helped my brother plan his wedding,
Mm-hmm.
which was 2 years before that, in 2006. And then that's kind of when I knew, like,
this is fun.
This is it. But I didn't know at the time that it was something that I could make a career out of.
Right.
Like, I just thought it was something that you do on the side. It was something that I like to do. It was a hobby. It was a passion of mine. But I didn't realize then that it was something that I could make income from, that it could be my way of life.
Well, and here is something I think it's really important for people to realize is, a lot of times when we are doing our passion, we love doing it, and we will give it away for free because we enjoy the whole process so much. But it's typically the things that you would be very easily swayed to give away for free that's your biggest gift. So that's how things happen like that.
Yeah, I agree.
And so now you're 100% in. She plans incredible events. And I think we need to kind of see some of the pictures, because there's nothing like a picture.
Yay.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. But kind of explain to us how this vision came to life, and what we're looking at as we're going through these photos.
So this was a nautical theme wedding. So at my company, we love to plan events that are beautiful, that are pretty, but we also want to make sure that we focus on the moments and the details, because that's what really matters. And when it's all said and done, the moments and the details are what matter. And so that's what we try to make sure that we capture. So this was a nautical theme wedding. And you can see our bride there at the top, and then the place setting. So it's all about the details. So we had the nautical knots that you can see on top of the menu card that just kind of focus on the whole nautical theme. The table setting down in the bottom right corner just brings it all together. We had like seashells on the vases. We had the coral reefs. the burlap to kind of represent the net, just bringing in the details that people don't think about. Stationery is huge in any event because it sets the tone for
Right.
what guests can expect. So just having an amazing stationer that can put together a beautiful suite that goes along with it. So that's what this one was. It was about a nautical event, and we just wanted to stay true to the theme, from the attire to all of the details.
Well, you know, something that I think is very important, whether you're planning an event that is an intimate dinner party, and if you haven't done that before, or if it's been a while since you've done that, do it. And if it is if it's a corporate event, or if it's a wedding, the experience is really in the details, like you said.
I agree.
And I think that as an entrepreneur, if you own a business, you've got to be doing customer appreciation events throughout the year, minimum 2 a year. Well, this last holiday, what we did is we did an event, and you were busy again because it was the holiday season. I can't get her if it's the holiday season.
It's crazy.
You got to book in advance.
I agree.
You just do. But when you know you're going to have an event and you want a professional to help you with the details, one of the biggest things that we did this year, and I know that you're a big proponent of this because we've talked about it, is we had live entertainment. And that live entertainment, and we did a party at our home. We probably had 40, 50 people there. I had Christy, So Very Christy, sing because she's amazing. And she also facilitated karaoke. And it was a blast. But I really did, and I have picked up some of the details that you shared with me with Beauty Brains and Business, and just details that you share even in the mastermind with things that what you do. And it makes a difference.
It's the little things that you don't think about that people will notice. You know, it's the small details, like the centerpieces, or what was the entertainment like? Were the guests entertained, or, you know, or were they bored? Like, it's the little things that you don't think about when you're thinking about the bigger picture that really make a difference and really set the tone in producing an amazing event.
Because here's, at the end of the day, it's about memories.
It is.
You're creating memories. And, you know, even just for the holidays, this past holiday, my husband and I took all 5 of our kids, and we're a blended family too. So I have 3 biological and 2 bonus, and I call them bonus because it is a bonus. They're amazing. I mean, they've added to our lives, and that's what hopefully your bonus family does, they add to you. But it's really about creating memories.
It is.
And when you stop and think, here we are at the beginning of the year, and you think, okay, oh gosh, what are some memories that I want to capture? Birthday parties, dinner parties, customer appreciation, a family event, a wedding, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Stop and create something special, and those memories will last a lifetime.
It makes a difference. It really does. Like, I remember the one event that I can remember as a kid that still sticks with me today, and I think about it all the time, was the first birthday party and surprise party I've ever had. And I still remember every detail leading up to it. And I think it's exactly like you said, it's creating those memories. Now, I never had another surprise party after that, but it was the best. It is what
What's your husband's name?
Henry.
Okay, Henry. All right, Henry, if you're watching,
I'd be planning my own surprise. He's so not into entertaining, like for holidays, parties, all kinds of stuff. I lay everything out. I have all these decorations everywhere.
Well, I'm going to give somebody a really, really good idea, and I was going to do this for my husband this past year, and I just didn't. But here's a great idea, Shamica. I think you should start doing this. I'm going to give you an idea. So my husband turned 49 in October. Now, obviously, he will be 50 this October. And I wanted to plan a surprise 50th birthday party and have everybody come to the party. And they would say, oh, you know, they would think he turned 50. And then they would say to him, you know, happy 50th. And he would keep saying, I'm not 50, I'm really only 49.
That is so
Just as
funny.
crazy. And I just envisioned him getting his driver's license out and having to prove to people that he was really only 49. And I mean, I really wanted to do this. And it was just so crazy busy. I didn't get to do it because I didn't talk to you beforehand.
So do it like, well, we can't say it on air because then he'll know.
I know.
But do it at like the halfway point.
I will do something.
Because then it's still a surprise. Because if you do it close
Ziggy,
to
would
his
that
birthday,
not have been funny? Would that not have been funny?
I would have been very frustrated if someone did that to me. So
that's the point. That's the point, Ziggy. I want to frustrate him because
That
it's
is so
funny,
funny.
because laughter is the best medicine. And I just thought, what a kick that would be for
That
me.
is so funny.
And the thing is, it's really funny because people that know me know I'm a big prankster, and we've got a mutual friend, and anytime we're together, he just shakes his head and he says, "Poor Dave, poor Dave." It is what it is. But okay, let's get back to these events. We've got some more incredible pictures. There's a couple pictures that I just think are, I mean, obviously I love this, but I can't wait till we get to the wall. The flower wall.
So this is what I talk about when I talk about the moments. Like, you know, planning an event is great, but it's the moments, like you said, that you remember. And this is like after the couple gets married, I like to give them like 15 minutes where they just get alone time by themselves as a couple. Because the rest of the wedding day, it's like so crazy. Like
and as the bride and groom, you don't think about this stuff. You're the one that is just going and going. And if you, as the event planner, didn't say, "Look, I've done thousands of these, and you're going to miss this moment if we don't plan for it."
Yep. I agree, because you get caught up in the whirlwind of the day, and just everything moves so fast. And I tell my couples all the time, like, this day is going to fly by. So try to enjoy every moment of it, because when you blink, it's going to be over.
Right. I just got chills when you said that. I'm serious. I just got chills because it's the truth.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really big about living in the moment. I don't know. I want to hear some crazy, funny wedding stories from everybody. So share your crazy wedding stories, the moments in your wedding and the day that you loved. I know I see Jennifer Porchy that is watching right now, which she's my sorority little sister. And I was at her wedding, and her wedding was gorgeous. And you do remember people's weddings.
You do.
Another one of my friends, it was another sorority sister, Lisa and Brian Clayton, at theirs, when they were leaving, they stood up in the limousine and out of the window, out of the moonroof, and they had silly string, and they started spraying it, and I loved that. But you remember those kind of things. But you do need somebody to help you along the way.
I agree.
Again, not just on weddings, but at any event that you plan. Okay, let's look at some more of those pictures. They're going to freak out when they see your gorgeous flower wall.
So this is one of my favorite brides. This is Tara Lynn Wilson now. And she's one of my favorite brides. She was so easy, so laid back, just a very chill bride who just listened to the advice, followed the advice. Sometimes you get brides that want to challenge everything that you say, and I just try to say, hey, I've been doing this for a long time. Like, I know what works, what doesn't work, and you know what's going to be the best. And so she was like the ideal bride.
But
like, she listened to everything.
And you don't have to tell us the names, but I'm sure you do have some Bridezilla stories. But I'm going to say this, and you don't have to share them because I know you wouldn't anyway. She wouldn't.
No.
I mean, she wouldn't share them. I know her well enough. But one of the things that I think is very important when you're working with people, with events, weddings, things like this, is you're a very easy person to work with. Because you are laid back, and you're kind, and you're considerate. You're not Miss Bossy Butt. I mean, seriously, you're not, and that does make a difference. It makes a huge difference because I don't want a drill sergeant.
No, and that's not me at all.
No, you're not. You're very relaxed and laid back, and you've got great ideas and you just smile so much.
I just think grace every time. Like, I just think handle people with grace, and give yourself grace. So if you have to give yourself grace, that means that other people need grace as well. I did, helped a lady plan a wedding, and she it was for her daughter, and she was kind of a high-strung mom, and she just said, "I don't know how you do it, but you bring calm in the sense of chaos." And it's just my nature.
Perfect.
Now, for me, there may be chaos going on, but to my clients, I always bring a calm presence and just reassure them that no matter what is going on, if things are awry, just know that I have it handled, and that I'll take care of.
Okay, now I want to tell you, Shamica, that one of our viewers, who is Ro, and I love her, Ro Couture. She is up in Jersey, gutsy gal. She's going to be one of my guests, but she just said that for her wedding, she hid 2 bottles of champagne in her dress because she's crazy like that, and to take to the club with her afterwards.
That is so funny.
Hey, great story, Ro. I love that. But I mean, people do that. And what I want to know, Ro, is did you come up with that on your own, or did somebody tell you that? Did your event planner tell you that? Okay, so let's look at some more pictures.
So again, this is, one of my favorite couples. The picture in the bottom left with the girls, like, this is how I want my bride to be on wedding day. Like, super relaxed, stress-free.
So happy.
And let me run around, chaotic and with the stress. So we want her to be relaxed and just where she doesn't have to worry about anything. I want her to be able to be a bride on wedding day. I want the mom to be able to be a mother of the bride on wedding day and not have to worry about who's going to move the centerpieces. Did the cake show up? Is the caterer here? Like, I want to be the one to worry about those details, to take all of the stress off of the client so that they can enjoy the moment.
Well, and that is exactly what you did for me at the Beauty Brains and Business event last year. So this May 4th will be my 3rd year doing that event.
I'm excited.
So the first year I did it basically all on my own because I just did. I mean, one of the things that it's just a huge piece of advice for somebody. There's the Beauty Brains and Business, save the date. And actually, I've got a buy one, get one free this week. So buy one and bring a friend for free. But one of the things that I do in life is I always hitch my wagon to real leaders. And real leaders will just tell you exactly what to do. And when I was working with, and I still work very closely with Kim and Sandra Yancey, they're incredible people, have had massive success. And as I was going over my plan for 2017, one of the things he recommended I do was, he said, Ginge, you have to do a live event.
Yeah.
And the very first thing I said was, I don't want to do a live event. And then I could see the expression on his face, and I realized I wasn't being coachable. And I said, but I will do a live event. So that first event, most really was on my own. Last year, having you don't know what you don't know. I don't care what it is, if it's planning an event, if it's starting your own company, if it's jumping into social media, you don't know what you don't know. And so you have to go to the professionals and ask them.
Well, I'm glad that you did it because I think that you touch a lot of women and you make a difference. Like you make people start to change their mindset. So I'm glad that you did decide to do the live event.
I think one of the things, thank you so much. I will say people don't realize that if you don't change the way you think, you will never change any result in your life.
I agree.
You can you can pretend, and when people want to make changes in their lives, what they do is they change their behavior first, but until you change the way you think, you will always default back to the way you think. And so you can never outperform your thoughts. Now, I want to show the picture of the one with that's the one I want. That's gorgeous, Shamica.
Thank you. So this was at the Dallas Bridal Show last year. So I am just a creative by nature, which I think is why God put me in the wedding industry or just the events industry, because I'm a creative. So that wall was all hand built. I built that myself.
That's it. Okay, that is beautiful.
Thank you.
So what is the wall made out of? To begin with,
the side panels are they're chevron panels that just add a little bit of texture and give you like a 3D appearance.
Okay, I want a wall like that at my event.
Okay,
we
can make that happen. Yay!
I'm gonna have that wall. I'm gonna have that wall.
We'll have
do
it
video.
for step and repeat.
Exactly.
Yay.
Let's do that. Let's do that instead of the step and repeat.
We can do that.
And then we'll do, I guess maybe I still need the step and repeat though, maybe. But I can do our sponsors. That is gorgeous, Shamica. I'm so excited now.
We can do like the step and repeat. You know how at the award shows they have like multiple step and repeats.
We're going to do multiples.
Yeah,
That's
so
how we're
we'll
going to do
do-
it. We're going to do multiples. Now, that's just gorgeous. So I can't wait. Shamica thought after the show she was going to go home. No, we're going to do planning. Henry,
This is fun, like-
I've got Shamica for the rest of the night. No, but it's engagement season, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it
we're
is.
coming up on engagement season.
We're right in the thick of it.
Well, and we have actually one of our really, really good friends whose daughter is getting married in November, and I've got to ask her, does Kaylee have an event planner? Because I don't know if she does or not, so we got to get you connected.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Right.
And we've already chatted a little bit.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, no, maybe not.
Okay.
It's her son that's getting married.
Okay, this is different though.
Oh.
But how do people get in touch with you?
So you can reach me via phone, email, or social media. So my social media is at Shamica and Co. And that's ShamicaAndCO. Email is just hello@Shamica&Co. And then my phone number is 214-449-1198. And then the website again is just shamicaandco.com.
And I'm telling you, Ziggy's so good. I guarantee you, before the end of the show, he's going to pull up her website because your website's beautiful too.
Yay, thank you.
And didn't you do your website?
I did.
I know, because you're
did.
so creative. You're just a natural at all of this.
Yay.
So for this was another one of your events, correct? Or is this on your website?
This was another event. So again, it's all about the details. Like the thing that people see the most at the events is the table that they're sitting at. So we want to make it pretty, right? So if that's where they're going to spend the most of their time, we want it to be pretty. We want it to make a statement, but we also want it to be functional.
Right.
So this was actually a bridal shower. And we did a Tiffany themed bridal shower. So we did like the Tiffany blue plates with the embellishments on
Right.
it, gold silverware, and just kind of played up what a luxury bridal shower could look like. And then
Right.
of course the top pictures, again, the details of the nautical wedding. And you can see kind of like the starfish. So again, going back to all of the little details, and just because details matter, like whether you believe it or not, details matter.
They
And when
do.
they're not there, it's noticeable.
Okay, so let me ask you something that probably everybody is wondering, which is the budget. So, I mean, are you a type of event planner, wedding planner, that it's like you only work with a certain budget? Are you flexible? I mean, because you can only do what you have money to do.
I agree. So we believe that the budget has to make sense. So when I say that the budget has to make sense for the number of people that you're inviting.
Okay,
So-
that does make sense to
So
me.
if you're saying I want a wedding for 300 people and you're telling me you only have $10,000, realistically, how do we make that happen if you want a luxury wedding? So the budget and the guest count have to make sense. As far as minimum budget, there really is no minimum budget, because you can have a $10,000 budget with 10 people, you know? So it's not necessarily a minimum budget. The biggest requirement for working with us, and it's not even a requirement, it's just kind of reality, is that the budget and the guest count have to make sense, and the vision that you want. Like you can't say, I want this super over the top luxury wedding, but you're only willing to spend $10,000 and you want 300 guests. So it has to make sense.
I mean, for a lay person like me, now this is what I tell my husband all the time, or I should say, this is what my husband says to me. He says, "Jen, you sure know how to make money, but you sure know how to spend it."
Spend it. Isn't that most women?
What I say to him was, at least I know how to make it. I mean, at least I
Right.
know how to make money. But that's really one of the things he says to me all the time. Man, you sure know how to make that money, Jens, but you sure know how to spend it. And so that's how I get away with some things. But here's my question for a layperson: what isn't appropriate in your mind? I want to have an event, and let's just go to a dinner party, because I think an intimate dinner party is done with an event planner. I think it's so just tasteful, and I think it's so classy, and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
So say somebody is saying, okay, I want to do an intimate dinner party. And when I say intimate, 20 people.
Okay.
I mean, realistically, how much per person are we looking at?
So it depends on where it's going to be held at. Is it going to be at your home? Is it going to be
Yes, at my
in a
home.
venue?
Say at the house.
So what I would recommend is hiring a chef to prepare in the
And do
kitchen.
you have connections with
We
chefs?
do.
Okay.
We have connections with every vendor that you can imagine. So if you needed an elephant for an Indian wedding, we can get an
Dave,
elephant.
we're going to get an elephant.
We're
We're going to have the elephant at our. And then what we'll do is we won't even talk about the elephant, like
We'll
the
just put it in
elephant's
the room.
not in the room. And then when people are talking about it, we'll say, "What elephant?"
That
And
is
then
so
and then
funny.
we'll say, "Oh, are you talking about the elephant in the room?" Done.
That
This
is so
it.
funny. But I
who
mean,
wants to
like-
come to our elephant in the room that's not an elephant in the room party?
I'll be there. Invite me. I'm all for it. But so if you do an intimate dinner party at home for about 20 guests, just depending on what you want to serve. So your food is always going to be one of your major costs, whether it's a wedding, a corporate event, a personal party, or a private party. Your food is always going to be the biggest event. So for an event for about 20 people, in your home, if you want to make a place setting really nice, I would say between 1,000 and 1,500.
Okay. So for the whole event, I mean, to me, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Because believe me, you can go out to dinner
And spend that.
at a nice restaurant and with 20 people, easily spend 1,000 to 1,500.
I agree. And it just
Easily.
It just depends on like how dramatic or how over the top.
Now,
you
does
wanna
that
take
include
it.
the elephant?
The elephant is an additional fee.
Oh my gosh, this is a
Oh,
really
boy.
good idea.
We gotta do a
Shamika.
party and get you an elephant. We got to.
We have to. There's no other way around it. We're going to have to do it now. I mean, that's amazing. So, but I like it how you work with people and you sit down with them and say, let's see what your vision is, and you talk them and walk them through it.
Yeah. So the way that we plan weddings at Shamica and Co. is we believe in being upfront and honest about everything that's going on, right?
Right.
So we want to know what your budget is, what your vision is. If the two don't line up, then we're going to sit and we're going to talk and we're going to educate you about what things cost. Because if you've never had a wedding, you don't
It's so
know what
true.
things cost.
Or if you've never paid for an event, you really don't know what's
Yeah.
true. I mean, I like that. I like that your philosophy, the way you work with people.
And so one of the first meetings that we have once you're a client is we sit down and we have a budget meeting. So we talk about what is your vision, and then we put together what the budget looks like for your dream wedding, because everybody wants their dream, but you may not be able to afford it. So what we want to do is know what is the big dream. And if we can't afford the big dream, how do we give you a version of the big dream within the budget that you have?
Well, and just sitting here thinking about that and that approach, if you've got somebody that they've got this vision and they want to create that vision, and you share with them honestly the budget constraints, they might decide, hey, maybe if I went on a destination, if I did a destination wedding, if I cut down the number of people and I create this vision that I want, and then I come back and I have a party.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways to do it.
Exactly. And that's what I was just going to say. There's ways to accomplish what you want within your budget. So you can get the dream that you want by decreasing the guest count. You can get the dream that you want by just slightly changing it, or you can spend more money to make like a wow factor at your wedding that
Right.
represents your dream, and then go kind of low key with the rest
with
of
the rest of it.
So there's ways to accomplish what you want without having to go over the budget. Like, I am super respectful of budgets because I understand that it's not my money.
Right.
Like, you can give me money and I'll spend it all day long.
Right,
Like, I'm
exactly.
a spender too. But I'm very conscious of other people's money. And so when you give me a budget, I do my very best to stay within that budget, but still give you what you've asked
I love
for.
that.
So.
Well, this all goes along with my Ask Jen's question for the day. And believe me, I've got people that ask me questions all the time. Some of them are really crazy, but I always try to match the guest and the topic with the Ask Jen's. And I've had people ask me this question before, which is, how do you have effective events? And my answer to that is how you do everything effectively. And number one is you have a plan. Number two, you enlist the assistance of a professional. Number three, you have to know what your budget is, make those plans, have those goals, and have fun. To me, that's the way you have an effective event, and that's the way you have effective goal achievement as well. So we've covered everything today.
Awesome.
We've covered everything. So now we're going to jump into our laughter is the best medicine. And again, I always try to keep it fun, lighthearted, silly, and also tied into what our topic is. And believe me, there are so many hysterical, fun videos about weddings. It's a riot. I had a hard time just picking one. And this one that we're going to watch, it's just a little portion of it, but it's hysterical. So hit it, Ziggy. Okay, so the moral of the story is you have to have kids at your wedding because they make it so much more fun. And you just I love kids just for all those reasons that we saw there. They're just so pure and so fun. But the two of that are my most favorite in that clip was the one that is just totally passed out. And then the little boy who's obviously blended family, who's like, get up, don't touch my mom, don't get underneath her dress like that. It's hysterical. So but I will tell you, one of the reasons, and you know me so well, but one of the reasons why I have the laughter is the best medicine segment is because laughter is so important in our lives.
I agree.
You've got to laugh. You've got to laugh at the bad times, the good times, the silly times, the crazy times. And there's so many beneficial, I mean, greatly beneficial results that you achieve when you laugh. Yeah. And it's one of my most favorite things to do. I love to laugh.
Me too.
I love to laugh. In fact, I'm in the process of writing a book right now, and you go through all these different working titles. And my working title right now, and I think this is going to be the one that wins, is Leadership, Laughter, and Love.
I love it.
Because everything rises and falls on leadership, and that's our goal in life, is to become a top producing, high producing leader. You've got to laugh, and that really does set your culture for happiness. Happiness actually precedes good health, and happiness precedes success. And actually, Napoleon Hill in the 1800s said the watchword of the future will be human happiness.
Wow.
And he said that is when a person is in the state of happiness, it's when they will be more effective and more successful, which years of research has proven to us. And then love, you can't grow unless you're in an environment of love. You have to love yourself first. And that's what I think is so special with what you do with all your events, creating those memories. But especially with weddings, it's that beginning, that formal solidification of a union together and creating that love. And believe me, when you're married, you have to learn to laugh because sometimes they will drive you crazy.
I agree.
You know that? So thank you so much for being on the show, Shamica.
Thank you for having me. I was happy to be here.
Thank you so much for everybody that's watching, and whether it's live or recording, please do share. I am going to come up with something great to give all the people that are sharing my shows. And if you have a Ask Jen's question, please send it in. If you've got a funny video, send it to me. I love getting those videos, and I have people that send me videos all the time now. And I love that. If you've got a topic that you want us to talk about, or if there is a person, or if you yourself are interested in being on the show live, or potentially us having you Skype in or whatever the correct technology is, and we're open for that. We really do sincerely want to help make your life better. And at the end of the day, we want you to be big, be bold, and be you. So until we meet again next Monday at 3 p.m., have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye.